Just a quick one. Have you ever clicked accept on terms and conditions without reading it? What if I told you that one click determines how you're allowed to use your software? And welcome back. As we continue on this journey through IC3 GS6 level 1, we are diving deeper into types of software, specifically proprietary and open source software. In this lesson, you will understand what happens behind the scenes when you install software, including something called the EULA, EULA, which is the End User License Agreement. And I'm sure you've heard of this before. We will also explore open source software, where users have more freedom to use, modify, and share. And we'll look at real examples like the Linux, FreeBSD, and ReactOS. By the end of this lesson, you will not only use software, you will understand your rights, restrictions, and choices as a user, of which I think you should. Let's dive in. We will continue with another sub-objective of 1.3, which will look at software concepts like proprietary and open source software. So what then is a proprietary software? And this is usually owned by a company or an individual. So what you do is you only buy the right to use it, but the owner controls how it's used. So most proprietary software is closed source, meaning you cannot see or change the code. So we've got examples like Windows operating system. You have the ability to subscribe maybe yearly, monthly. You pay Microsoft for using the program, but the code with which was used to write that software that you're using, you don't have access to it to make changes. Then we have macOS for Apple and Unix. So you must follow what we call the End User License Agreement. So anytime you try installing a software, you will need to accept the terms and conditions, which in computer terms becomes the end user. So you are the end user, you need to accept those conditions before it can be installed on your system. So Windows, WinRAR, iTunes, Microsoft Office, Google Earth, Mac, Skype. So these are some examples, but don't limit yourself to this. Do a Google search to find out more about proprietary software, and it's important you know this as an individual for your work, then for the certification program with Certiport. Then we have open source software. So if proprietary is closed, open source, you have the ability, you have the freedom to go in there, and if you're a programmer, make changes to the code of that program to some extent for some programs. So open source software lets users view, change, and share the code freely. It is often free to use, though not always. So examples include the Linux, the FreeBSD, and ReactOS, as well as many versions of what Android, though some include proprietary apps. So these are some examples here: WordPress, Python, and a whole lot. Android all day. So just do a bit of a research and you should be fine. So this is just a very simple bite-sized training on proprietary software and open source software. So as I always say, if you want to learn more about the Digital Literacy Certification Program, head over to certiport.com/IC3. And if you want to know more about what I do, and I've been doing this for the past 8 years, and you're an institution, you want these programs implemented or integrated in your institution, get in touch with me. Go to fitsgh.net So thank you so much for staying with me throughout this series. And just reminding you, if you've not subscribed, you've not followed, kindly do so and share with a friend. Check out what I do and recommend me to institutions, government organizations, and I'm positive I can make an impact in the lives of the workers. Stay blessed. Let's see you in the next lesson. Bye bye for now.